Thursday morning, 10:15 a.m. 19-year-old Sebastian Cross walks into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom like he's entering his personal kingdom, radiating the kind of toxic confidence that comes from 18 years of never hearing the word no. Sebastian isn't just wealthy, he's generational wealth personified. His great-grandfather founded Cross Industries. His grandfather expanded it into a multi-billion-dollar empire, and his father currently serves as CEO while simultaneously holding a seat on the Providence City Council. Sebastian has grown up believing that laws are suggestions, rules are optional, and consequences are for poor people. Today, he's here for something that should terrify any reasonable person: his fifth arrest in 14 months, this time for street racing through downtown Providence at 3 a.m., reaching speeds of 97 miles per hour while live streaming the entire thing to his social media followers. But Sebastian isn't terrified. He's bored. "Your Honor," Sebastian announces before Judge Caprio can even call the case, "can we make this quick? I've got a yacht party starting at noon and people are expecting me." Judge Caprio looks up from his file, his expression immediately darkening. "Mr. Cross, you will address this court with respect, or you will be held in contempt." Sebastian laughs, actually laughs at a sitting judge. "Contempt? Your Honor, with all due respect, you can't touch me. My family owns half this city. My father literally pays your salary through his tax contributions." The courtroom falls into stunned silence. Judge Caprio slowly removes his reading glasses and sets them on the bench. "Mr. Cross, did you just tell this court that I cannot hold you accountable for your actions?" Sebastian's smirk widens. "I'm saying you're smart enough to understand how the world actually works. Rich families, powerful connections, political influence, that's reality. Everything else is just theater." Judge Caprio has presided over thousands of cases in his 30-year career, but Sebastian's casual dismissal of judicial authority represents something unprecedented. "Mr. Cross, you're charged with reckless endangerment, excessive speed, street racing, and endangering public safety. According to the police report, you were driving nearly 100 miles per hour through downtown Providence while recording yourself for social media. How do you respond to these charges?" Sebastian pulls out his phone and starts scrolling through messages. "Look, Judge, I already told you, this whole thing is a waste of time. My lawyer will handle the paperwork, my family will handle the politics, and we'll all move on with our lives. Mr. Cross, put away that device and answer the question." Sebastian glances up with theatrical exasperation. "Fine, not guilty, obviously. This is selective enforcement targeting my family because we're successful. Poor kids street race every night, but when a Cross does it, suddenly it's a federal case." Judge Caprio's voice becomes deadly quiet. "Mr. Cross, are you suggesting that wealthy individuals should be exempt from traffic laws? I'm suggesting that intelligent people understand proportional response. When someone from my background gets a traffic citation, reasonable authorities handle it administratively. Making a big production out of minor violations just wastes everyone's time." The audacity hangs in the air like toxic smoke. Sebastian continues scrolling through his phone, completely indifferent to the gravity of his situation. "Mr. Cross, according to the arresting officer's report, when you were stopped, you told Officer Martinez, and I quote, 'Do you know who you're messing with? My father could end your career with one phone call.' Do you recall making that statement?" Sebastian shrugs dismissively. "I might have mentioned my family's position in the community. Sometimes law enforcement needs context to make appropriate decisions." "Context? Officer Martinez is new to the force, probably doesn't understand the political dynamics of the city yet. I was helping him avoid making a career-limiting mistake." Judge Caprio studies Sebastian carefully. "Mr. Cross, threatening a police officer's employment is a serious crime." "I wasn't threatening anyone. I was providing valuable information about potential consequences for poor decision-making." Sebastian's attorney, Thomas Blackstone, one of the most expensive criminal defense lawyers in New England, finally attempts to control his client. Your Honor, my client is young and sometimes uses poor word choices. We're prepared to accept responsibility and discuss appropriate restitution. Sebastian immediately contradicts his own lawyer. Actually, Mr. Blackstone, I'm not accepting responsibility for anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Driving fast isn't a crime when you're skilled enough to handle it safely. Judge Caprio's eyebrows rise. Mr. Cross, you were driving 97 miles per hour on city streets. On empty city streets at 3 in the morning. I specifically chose a time when I wouldn't endanger anyone. If anything, I was being responsible by considering public safety. Mr. Cross, do you understand that your reckless driving could have killed someone? Sebastian finally looks up from his phone with genuine confusion. But it didn't. Nobody got hurt. You can't punish people for things that didn't actually happen. Mr. Cross, reckless endangerment is a crime regardless of outcome. Sebastian's voice becomes condescending. Your Honor, let me explain something about the modern world. Young people take risks. That's how innovation happens. My great-grandfather took risks building his business empire. My grandfather took risks expanding internationally. Risk-taking is literally in my DNA. Judge Caprio has heard enough entitled defendants to fill several lifetimes, but Sebastian represents a special category of arrogance. Mr. Cross, building a business and endangering lives through illegal street racing are not comparable activities. They're both examples of successful people refusing to be limited by conventional thinking. Sebastian's attorney desperately tries to stop his client from continuing to self-destruct. Your Honor, perhaps we could discuss plea arrangements. Sebastian cuts off his own lawyer. Mr. Blackstone, there's nothing to plea. I'm not guilty of anything except being born into a family that makes some people uncomfortable. Judge Caprio leans forward. Mr. Cross, you believe your family's wealth exempts you from criminal law. I believe my family's contributions to this community earn us consideration for proportional justice. When you employ half the city through your business enterprises, when you donate millions to local charities, when you serve on the city council, yes, that should influence how minor violations are handled. The courtroom erupts in angry murmurs. Sebastian seems genuinely surprised by the negative reaction. Your Honor, I think some people in this room don't understand how economic systems work. Wealthy families create jobs, fund public projects, and drive economic growth. Harassing us over trivial matters hurts everyone. Judge Caprio stands up, a gesture that immediately silences the courtroom. Mr. Cross, you just described law enforcement as harassment and characterized nearly killing people through reckless driving as trivial matters. Sebastian remains completely unfazed. I described reality, Your Honor. Sometimes reality makes people uncomfortable. What makes me uncomfortable, Mr. Cross, is your complete lack of remorse for endangering innocent lives. Sebastian finally shows a flash of irritation. Your Honor, nobody was endangered because I'm an excellent driver with professional-level skills. I've been driving high-performance vehicles since I was 14 on private tracks. My reaction time is faster than most adults. Mr. Cross, your skills are irrelevant when you're driving illegally at excessive speeds. They're completely relevant. Would you prosecute a professional race car driver for driving fast on a closed course? This is the same principle. Judge Caprio's patience finally snaps. Mr. Cross, city streets are not closed courses, and you are not a professional race car driver. Sebastian's voice becomes sharp. Your Honor, I think you're allowing personal bias against successful families to cloud your judgment. This prosecution is politically motivated. The words hang in the air like an accusation. Judge Caprio has been challenged by defendants before, but Sebastian's direct attack on his integrity crosses a line that cannot be uncrossed. Mr. Cross, you just accused this court of bias and political motivation. Sebastian doubles down. I'm saying what everyone in this room knows but won't admit. Poor kids who street race get warnings. Rich kids get prosecuted because it makes good headlines. Mr. Cross, do you have any evidence to support your claim of selective enforcement? The evidence is sitting right here. 5 arrests in 14 months, all for minor violations that get ignored when committed by people without family names worth targeting. Judge Caprio has reached his breaking point. Mr. Cross, your 5 arrests were for reckless driving, public intoxication, assault on a bouncer, disturbing the peace, and now street racing. These are not minor violations. Sebastian waves dismissively. They're all misunderstandings blown out of proportion by people who resent my family's success. Mr. Cross, assault on a bouncer is a misunderstanding? The guy put his hands on me first. I was defending myself against someone who didn't understand appropriate behavior toward members of my social class. The courtroom gasps audibly. Sebastian has just admitted to believing that his social class entitles him to assault people. Judge Caprio's voice becomes ice cold. Mr. Cross, did you just suggest that your social class justifies violence against working people? Sebastian realizes he may have misspoken, but remains defiant. I suggested that people should understand social hierarchies and behave accordingly. What social hierarchy gives you the right to assault a security guard? The hierarchy where my family employs people like him and pays taxes that fund people like you. The nuclear bomb of entitlement has finally detonated. Sebastian Cross has just told a sitting judge that his family's wealth makes him superior to working people, and that tax contributions give him authority over public servants. Judge Caprio's response will be quoted in law schools for decades. Mr. Cross, you have just demonstrated the most comprehensive contempt for law, order, and human dignity that I have witnessed in 30 years on this bench. Sebastian, still not understanding his danger, makes his final and most catastrophic mistake. Your Honor, the truth is contemptuous when it challenges your worldview, but facts don't care about your feelings. My family built this city. We employ thousands of people. We fund public projects. We serve in government. When push comes to shove, Your Honor, you can't touch me because touching me means touching the people who actually matter in this community. The courtroom explodes in shocked gasps and angry murmurs. Sebastian has just directly challenged Judge Caprio's authority while claiming immunity based on his family's wealth and political influence. Judge Caprio's final response destroys Sebastian's world. Mr. Cross, you are in direct contempt of court for your repeated attacks on the integrity of these proceedings and your explicit claim that wealth exempts you from judicial authority. Sebastian finally realizes he may be in actual trouble. Your Honor, I think you're misunderstanding. Bailiff Rodriguez, place Mr. Cross in restraints. Immediately. Sebastian's face goes pale for the first time. Wait, what? You can't arrest me. I have diplomatic immunity. Mr. Cross, you do not have diplomatic immunity. You have a trust fund and an attitude problem. The bailiff approaches Sebastian with handcuffs. Sebastian actually backs away from him. Your Honor, this is a huge mistake. My father will have you removed from the bench. The city council will demand an investigation. You have no idea what you're doing. Judge Caprio's response is delivered with the calm precision of someone who has considered every word. Mr. Cross, you are sentenced to 15 days in county jail for contempt of court. During that time, you will discover whether your family's influence extends to your cellmates. Sebastian's voice cracks with panic. 15 days? Your Honor, that's insane. I can't go to jail. I have social obligations. I have business meetings. Your social obligations will wait. Justice will not. Sebastian makes one final desperate attempt to leverage his family's power. Your Honor, my father contributes to your re-election campaigns. He sits on the Judicial Oversight Committee. He has dinner with the governor every month. You are making a career-ending mistake. Judge Caprio's final words echo through the courtroom with the weight of absolute moral authority. Mr. Cross, your father's political connections couldn't prevent you from committing crimes, couldn't stop you from showing contempt for this court, and won't save you from these consequences. Your 15 days will give you time to learn the difference between influence and immunity. The handcuffs click into place with the finality of reality meeting privilege. Sebastian Cross, who walked into the courtroom believing himself untouchable, is led away in restraints exactly 11 minutes after telling Judge Caprio he couldn't be touched. 2 weeks later, Sebastian returns to court for his release hearing. His designer clothes have been replaced by a county jail jumpsuit, his arrogant swagger replaced by something approaching humility. "Mr. Cross," Judge Caprio begins, "have these 15 days taught you anything?" Sebastian's voice is barely above a whisper. "Yes, Your Honor. I learned that money doesn't protect you from consequences. I learned that treating people as inferior because of their economic status is wrong. I learned that the law applies to everyone, including my family." Judge Caprio studies him carefully. "What else?" "I learned that respect has to be earned, not bought. I spent 15 days with people I thought I was better than, and many of them showed more character than I ever have." Judge Caprio nods slowly. "Mr. Cross, contempt of court isn't just about disrespecting a judge. It's about showing contempt for the principle that justice treats all people equally." "I understand that now, Your Honor." Judge Caprio delivers his final judgment. "Mr. Cross, you're released from custody today, but your education in accountability is just beginning. You'll complete 200 hours of community service working with people whose lives have been impacted by reckless driving." Sebastian accepts his sentence without protest. "Thank you, Your Honor." As Sebastian leaves the courtroom, a changed person, Judge Caprio reflects on the thin line between privilege and accountability. In his 30 years on the bench, he's learned that justice isn't about punishing wealth. It's about ensuring that wealth doesn't punish justice. Sometimes the most valuable lesson money can't buy is learning that money can't buy everything. Sebastian Cross walked into that courtroom believing his family's influence made him untouchable. He walked out understanding that the only thing truly untouchable is the principle that all people are equal before the law.